You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode 168.1, our daily update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, with a little bit of major national sports news. Anything that may be of interest to Central Indiana sports fans.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we thank you so much for being here with us. Today is February 4th, 2025. It's a Tuesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. I am coming to you today from Madison Grant High School. Yes, I am recovered and back at my day job. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville, still feeling a bit under the weather. Coming up, we have an update from a big boys basketball game Monday between a couple of ranked teams, Mechaniqua and Tipton, the new rankings in boys and girls basketball, another Pacers win, and a look ahead to a big Tuesday in Central Indiana. Before we get to that, please go like, subscribe, or follow us so you don't miss a single segment. We are at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and at YouTube. Just search Central Indiana Sports Report, and we are easy to find. Tipton picked up a big 62-61 road win at Mechaniqua Monday behind a couple of huge individual performances. Senior Grady Carpenter continued doing what he does with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And senior Landon Spidell had 14 points, a season-best 6 rebounds, and made a big tie-breaking game-winning free throw with 11 seconds remaining. Senior Sam Quigley also had 14 points and contributed 4 rebounds and 3 assists to the win. And sophomore center Grayson McFalls had 6 points and 5 assists. The win makes the 2A number 13 Blue Devils 11-5 on the season and snapped a modest 3-game losing streak, the program's longest in almost 4 years. It's the second straight loss for the 3A number 14 Braves, following a 5-game winning streak that included wins over Peru, Kokomo, Western, and Hamilton Heights. Mechaniqua is now 11-4 on the season. Here is the Action Sports Network's Grant Schaus with a brief report on Monday's game.
Landon Spidell for Tipton last night hit one of 2 big free throws with 11 seconds to go to will Tipton ahead of Mechaniqua, 62-61. The Braves' last-second attempt by A.J. Kelly was no good, and Tipton snaps a 3-game losing streak, 62-61 over Mechaniqua on Monday Night Basketball.
Earlier Tuesday morning, I released a full report from the Tipton-Mechaniqua game from Grant Schaus. That is episode 168.3. Also Monday, Class A number 6 Clinton Prairie improved to 14-2 on the season with its 6th straight win, 70-29 at Fountain Central. Also, University beat Chittard 77-71 for its 8th straight win, and Western Boone got past Faith Christian 51-43. In the latest boys basketball AP polls, 16-0 and defending state champion Fishers remains on top in 4A. 12-0 and defending 2A state champion Brownstown Central is number 1 in 3A. 12-1 Linton Stockton has the top spot in 2A, just ahead of Wapahani, and 13-1 Clay City is number 1 in Class A. In 4A, following Fishers is 12-0 Crown Point, 13-2 Greenfield Central, 12-1 Westfield, and 13-1 Anderson to round out the top 5. 14-3 Warsaw 6th, 12-3 North Central is 7th, 10-2 New Albany 8th, entering the top 10 for the first time this season. 13-2 Avon is 9th, and 11-2 North Ridge is ranked 10th. Harrison, Noblesville, and Mount Vernon all received votes. Fishers got all 11 first-place votes. Dave Benter and the Brownstown Central Braves got 7 of the 11 first-place votes in 3A. Number 2 South Bend St. Joseph's got the other 4. 14-2 Guerin Catholic is third, 12-4 Cathedral fourth, and 14-2 Northwood is fifth, tied with Silver Creek, which is 15-2 for the fifth spot. 13-2 New Palace seventh, 13-1 Princeton is eighth, 10-5 Crispus Attucks is ranked ninth, and 15-1 Northview is 10th. Mechanical received votes. The first place votes in Class 2A were split 5 ways. 12-1 Linton got 3 first place votes. South Ripley got the most first place votes with 4 and is ranked third. Defending 2A state champion Lures is 12-2 and ranked fourth and got 1 first place vote. And fifth is number 5 Manchester, which is 14-1 and got the other vote. 13-4 Gary 21st Century is ranked 6th. 13-3 Park Heritage is 7th. 13-2 Taylor is 8th. 11-2 Providence is number 9. And 16-1 Northeastern is number 10. Tipton and Lapel received votes. And in Class A, Clay City got 10 of the 11 first place votes. Number 3 Indianapolis Metropolitan received the other. Orleans is 9-2 and ranked 2nd. Metro is 12-4. 11-2 Hauser's 4th, and 12-2 Couts is 5th. The rest of the top 10 is Triton, Bloomfield, Clinton Prairie, Washington Township, and Carroll. Liberty Christian is one of 2 teams receiving votes outside of the top 10. In the final girls basketball polls of the year, unbeaten Hamilton Southeastern is number 1 in 4A and got all 8 first place votes in the USA Today poll. 21-1 and defending champion Lawrence Central, whose only loss was at the buzzer to Hamilton Southeastern, is number 2. 22-2 Homestead is third. 21-1 South Bend Washington is fourth, and 21-1 Warsaw is fifth. The rest of the top 10 is Center Grove, Brownsburg, Plainfield, Northridge, and 18-4 Noblesville. 3A number 1 Greensburg is the state's only other unbeaten team besides Hamilton Southeastern. The Pirates got all 9 first place votes in 2A. 20-2 Silver Creek is second. 21-2 Washington is third. And Evansville Central is fourth. All 4 of those teams are in the same regional. Number 5 Columbia City is the top ranked team in the north. Belmont is 6th, Corydon 6th, 7th, Danville 8th, Norwell 9th, and Northwood is 10th. 22-2 South Knox got all 10 number 1 votes in Class 2A. 22-2 Rensselaer Central is second, and 22-1 Alexandria ended the regular season ranked third in Class 2A. 21-2 Bluffton is fourth, and 23-1 Eastside is ranked fifth. The rest of the top 10 is Austin, Northeastern, North Knox, Lanesville, and Brownstown. 21-1 Sheridan is 11th. 19-3 Eastern Hancock is 13th. 20-2 Oak Hill is 15th. And 17-4 Whitco is ranked 17th. A lot of good 2A basketball in this area. The number 1 votes were split by number 1 Marquette Catholic, number 2 Borden, and number 6 Lafayette Central Catholic in Class A. Marquette Catholic is 18-4. Borden is 16-5. 20-3 North Central is number 3. 21-2 Westville is number 4. And 19-2 Tri-County is ranked 5th. After Central Catholic, Orleans is 7th. Oldenburg Academy 8th. Fremont 9th. And Tri is 10th. We were at the point on Monday evening in the Pacers game in Utah where I was thinking, dang, I got to write about the Pacers losing to start their West Coast road trip. Then the Pacers went on a roll and came up with the win. Indiana trailed 101-89 with under 6 minutes left, but went on a 23-10 game-closing run for their 3rd win in a row overall and their 6th straight road win, 112-111 over the Jazz in Salt Lake City. The comeback was led by the Indiana defense, Aaron Nesmith in particular. Tyrese Halliburton nailed a 3 in transition with just under a minute left to put Indiana up for good, 108-106, after they trailed most of the first half. 8 different Pacers scored at least 9 points, led by All-Star Pascal Siakam's 22 points and 18 from Tyrese Halliburton. Indiana got 44 points from its bench, including 13 apiece from Neesmith and Obi Toppin. Neesmith also had 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists. The Pacers are now 28-20 on the season and are back in action late Tuesday night when they visit 21-29 Portland, a young team that's been improving and has won 8 of its last 9 games, including its last 4. They just swept the Phoenix Suns in back-to-back games in their last 2 games to start February. The Indiana Mad Ants scored 130 points in a blowout win over Wisconsin Tuesday. Quentin Jackson and Jahlil Okafor combined for 64 points in the win. Jackson had 34 points and 8 assists. Okafor, 30 points and 11 rebounds in the win. The Ants are now 10-5 on the year and 3rd in the In-Bag East. They're home again Tuesday when they host East-leading Toronto. We have so much good basketball coming up on Tuesday in Central Indiana, whether you like high school girls basketball, college, or the NBA. In our local girls sectional games on Tuesday in Class 4A at Mount Vernon, 2-21 Anderson takes on 8-13 Muncie Central at 7:30. One of Anderson's 2 regular season wins came against the Bearcats, 58-57 on December 20th. The winner gets 17-6 and sectional favorite Pendleton Heights in Friday's second semifinal. In Tuesday's first game at Mount Vernon, 16-7 Greenfield Central takes on 11-11 Richmond. The Cougars beat Richmond 49-25 on November 19th. In 3A at Connorsville, the tournament kicks off with Hoosier Heritage rivals 15-6 Yorktown and 6-16 Newcastle going head-to-head in the opener at 6 o'clock, with 14-7 Delta and 5-16 Hamilton Heights to follow. Yorktown and Delta are both considered among the favorites in a balanced field. Yorktown's last sectional title came 14 years ago. It's been 32 years for Delta. At Norwell, 10-13 Marion open sectional play Tuesday against 16-6 Norwell at 7:30. The winner gets 10-12 Mississinewa on Friday's second semifinal. Tuesday's first game features 3-19 New Haven versus 1-19 Heritage. That winner takes on sectional favorite Belmont. In Tuesday's only game at Twin Lakes, 8-13 Northwestern faces 12-10 Peru at 7 in a wide open sectional. Peru beat Northwestern 48-39 on December 17th. The winner will face 6-16 West Lafayette in Friday's first semifinal at 6. We have 6 local games Tuesday in Class 2A, 2 at Alexandria, 2 at Sheridan, and 2 at Lewis Cass. At Alexandria, the number 3 host Tigers are a huge favorite against 4-16 Burris in the opener, before 7-13 Eastbrook takes on 4-18 Madison Grant for the 3rd time this season. Eastbrook won the first 2 games, both by 4 points. At Sheridan, 15-8 and defending champion Lapel faces 5-18 Taylor at 6. And 21-1 Sheridan faces 11-12 Frankton in the second quarterfinal to follow. The Lapel Taylor winner gets 12-10 Elwood Friday, and the Sheridan Frankton winner gets 2-20 Tipton in Friday's second semifinal. And at Lewis Cass, 16-6 Cass takes on 1-20 Eastern, followed by the big one, 20-2 Oak Hill versus 18-4 Wabash. 9-13 Manchester gets the Cass Eastern winner Friday. 16-6 Rochester will face either Wabash or number 15 Oak Hill in Friday's second semifinal. And in Class A at Tri-Central, it starts with 4-17 Cowan versus winless Westdale before 13-7 Daleville takes on 7-15 Tri-Central in what should be a good one. The Broncos did win at Tri-Central earlier this season. Tuesday's quarterfinal winners will play Friday in the first semifinal. And at Anderson Prep, the host Jets look for their first sectional title in program history, starting Tuesday against 13-9 Tinley. APA and Tinley are probably the 2 favorites in the sectional at APA. The winner faces 5-7 Liberty Christian in Friday's second semifinal. It's also a big Tuesday in local college basketball. All 3 of our local Division I programs are in action. 10-13 Ball State, is at MAC leading Akron at 7. That game's on ESPN Plus. Also at 7, 7th ranked Purdue visits 13-8 Iowa in a Big Ten contest. The Boilermakers are a half game behind Michigan State at the top of the Big Ten standings. That will be followed by 14-8 IU against 17-5 and 21st ranked Wisconsin at 9. IU and Purdue are both on the Peacock app. And IUK hosts IU Southeast in a men's-women's doubleheader Tuesday. The Cougars and Grenadier men play at 5:30, followed by the women. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thanks to Grant Schaus for the report on Tipton-McConaughey, and thank you for listening. Please do us a huge favor and do your friends a huge favor by telling them about the Central Indiana Sports Report. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.